So we're again round 4 of standard. What decks are we seeing this time?
Give me a second. Let me pull up all my pictures. I have pictures of everybody's decks, but
There we go.
a little bit out of order. Chrissy is playing the Soulfire Grandmaster. It's basically red, white, blue.
Right.
Soulfire Grandmaster with Ojutai's Command, Lightning Strike, Stoke the Flames, Raise the Alarm, Secure the Waste, one of.
I think Steve's playing Band Heroic, isn't he?
Steve is playing Band Heroic with Hangerback Walkers.
Okay.
This is the rest. He's got Jaces. Chrissy has Jace, the new Jace.
Right, yeah.
The flippy Jace. Treasure Cruises, Hordling Outbursts. So, tokens.
Yeah.
With Soulfire Grandmaster. Jeskai Ascendancy, too.
Okay, so.
Is this Steve Banaszak? This one. Steve laid it out for me. He's playing Heroic.
Right.
So this is Steve's.
So is Chris the Jeskai tokens deck then? Or?
Chris is Jeskai tokens with Soulfire Grandmaster. Steve is playing white and blue Heroic.
Okay, and roll for first.
Oh, he's playing Band Heroic. He's splashing for Dramoka's Command.
Okay.
That's what I was forgetting. I've got so many pictures now.
Alright, looks like Steve is happy with his starting 7. Couldn't see. Chris is checking his out. And we'll see if he keeps. I believe Steve's on the play. He is, and he'll play a temple. And looks like he has at least one more temple in hand and 2 heroes. He'll leave it on top and pass. Let's try to see what he's got in his hand. We'll see another temple, this time from Chris. And he'll bottom that.
I took pictures of Zach's deck also, and Zach is also playing Band Heroic, so I've got
It seemed like there was a decent amount of Bant Heroic in the shop tonight. Temple from Steve. Couldn't see what the card was. Looks like he put it on top. And he'll swing.
Okay. I'm caught up now. I deleted all the pictures.
We've got no blocks. So.
That's the promo Seeker of the Way on Steve's side.
Okay. And he did how much with that? With the Seeker?
Did he cast a spell?
Didn't look like he did, so I think he did 2, yeah.
I told him to use the dice.
Yeah. And there's a swing this way.
That's the Soulfire Grandmaster.
And Steve's going to respond.
That is... Triton Tactics? No, it's not Triton. Is that Triton Tactics?
No, it's Triton Tactics allows him to untap.
Triton Tactics. Yeah, allows him to untap.
Yeah,
is that
so
what he
that's
did?
what he did. Yeah.
So he triggered the heroic on, or not the heroic, oh my god, prowess on Seeker.
Right.
With Triton Tactics. Gave it lifelink, so he gained life off of that. He gained
Right, so
3
he's up to,
life.
So he'll be up to
23.
23.
He has his life at 22 though. Did he take a life off of something else?
He might have from the attack. Well, that was the first swing, so.
Did he crack fetch maybe?
Yes, I think he might have. I know. I think it was all temples so far. So the swing here. And then a hero.
Favorite
A favorite hoplite, yeah. So I believe Chris took 2 more and went to 16.
Off of Seeker, yeah.
Yep. $14? That's 15 because there was a, I think,
There's a
fetch land crack.
There's a
Yeah.
fetch.
So we'll be down to 15. And Hordeling Outburst.
Hordeling Outburst.
And Steve will crack. He's still got his life total, I think, 1 off.
It'll only matter if he loses by 1.
That's true.
Then you can watch it later and be like, oh.
Oh. So he'll trigger the heroic on favored hoplite and get a +1/+1 counter on it.
What did he is that Valor stance? That is a Valor stance. So he used the indestructible mode to trigger favored hoplite.
Seems an odd move without the threat of damage to it on the board.
And
that'll put another counter.
An Ordeal of Thassa.
Okay, and now he's going to swing it and he'll
So,
crack
yep.
the Ordeal. Okay, so that makes more sense now.
And
So I'll have
the
a block
Seeker
there.
should have triggered twice. So it should be a 4/4, and he should be gaining 4 life.
So we'll see if he resolves that properly. And he does.
Still off by 1, but enter thinking phase.
Indeed. Usually a good thing to do when you're playing game of Magic. A little bit of thinking.
Looks like he has a Feat of Resistance in his hand. Maybe another Valor stance.
So Chris is going to try to sneak in for 2 here. And it looks like Steve might consider a response. He's just going to take it.
He's gained a lot of life, so.
Yeah. Doesn't really need to be blocking at this point. Or
I didn't quite catch what he just played. Something that made 2 things. Raise the alarm?
No, I think it will go up.
He made 2 soldiers.
What? But go up some. He might have done secure the waste.
For X equals 2.
Couldn't quite catch it, and I can't see his graveyard at this point to double check.
Yeah, I definitely think our camera needs to go up a little bit.
Yeah.
So we can see the.
I don't know if it's sunk down some or.
Very possible. That kind of looks like a raise the alarm. He
Yeah.
just moved his graveyard.
Yeah, I think that is a raise the alarm.
And that's a Dromoka's command. That's what the green splash is for.
Right. And that will trigger the favorite hoplite again. So 5 counters on the favorite hoplite.
That thing gets really big really fast.
It does indeed. So it's 6/6 at the moment. Or a 6/7.
Alright, and with the Seeker and Favored Hoplite.
Blocking with a token here. And considering blocking again, but
I was playing Jessica Ascendancy for a while. It's very, it takes a lot of cards to make it work, but once it works, there's nothing you can do.
Absolutely. So just saw Chris grab his graveyard. Looks like he's delving something.
Treasure Cruise.
Yep.
Too good for Modern.
Too good for
Too good for Legacy.
Although I would love to be able to play Treasure Cruise in my Modern deck.
There were a couple of months where it happened.
I got glare, so I can't quite see what that is that he just cast.
I think I need to get some filters for my lights. Because magic card sleeves are shiny.
So, swinging the team from Steve. He has an opportunity to pump some things and get some heroic triggers in. Don't think he needs to. The Favored Hoplite isn't going to die to a block. And it doesn't look like they're going to... Yeah, it doesn't look like Chris is going to bother to block that anyway. Over on the side like that, it seems like it could be. So, Steve will get 2 more damage through. If that is the Ascendancy, then let's see what he's got with Convoke to start pulling stuff out.
It's not a Jace, because he didn't pull his Jace out of his deck box.
Right.
I think it must be an Ascendancy. What could he possibly do? Portaling Outburst. It's a good start. Trigger, is he drawing, discarding?
He just drew and discarded, yes. So, and then he'll get the counters.
No attack first? Could have gotten 2 in.
He could attack now for 4, because his creatures get the counters.
4 in. Well, I mean, you can attack and then you can untap your guys with your Ascendancy.
Yeah.
I guess he still could, if he's got another spell to play.
Yeah, it looks like he's got 3 mana up, so could sneak in for 4 and then cast something else. Looks like he just played a land. Tapping.
2 mana.
Trigger the Ascendancy.
Don't know what that was that he played.
Looks like it was
Another Outburst?
No, because he only got 2 in this time, it looks like. I don't know of anything that creates 2 red. two red tokens. So his tokens are up to 3 3s now. If you were to swing him, he could get 6 damage through. Still not really a worry for Steve at 25.
Dragon Fodder.
Okay, so there's Dragon Fodder.
He has a 1 of Dragon Fodder in his deck.
Yeah, and there it was. So, still has 1 mana up. He could get his tokens up to 4. He's got to dig deep. Well, he's got plenty of blockers. So it looks like he's got the position here. Unless he can cast something else, I think he's going to swing, get the 8 damage through, and then just rely on his tokens to block and swing next turn.
He could still cast a Stoke here if he has it in hand.
He could. So he is going to do that, and actually he had gotten up to 4, so that's 10 damage through. So Steve's gonna have to do something on his next turn to try to get through and do some damage, or looks like Chris has this one.
A God's willing wins the game for Steve here.
Yeah, and I think that's about what he would need.
And I think that's what he
Yeah,
passed.
I think he just hit it, and
I'm pretty sure he was just holding it the whole time.
Yeah. So there you go. So the one card you had that you needed to win, and it's in hand. So that'll be game 1 to Steve.
You want me to go adjust the camera angle? It's a little towards
Sure.
Steve's side.
Sure. Back a little bit more towards Chris's side, Rebecca.
Is that better?
Yeah. So we've got sideboarding going on.
They were making fun of my painter's extension roll. But they together kind of fast.
Hey, whatever works. Improvisation. So if you're Chris, what do you side in here to deal with the heroic deck?
Let's take a look at their sideboards. They have... Let's see. Chris has, Disdainful Stroke is a no.
No.
The Dragon Lord Ojutai. Valor's Stance could be good for when his hoplites and everything get really big. Anger of the Gods.
Yeah, anger.
Anger is a good one. Roast wouldn't be bad. Although some of Steve's creatures get big, like really fast.
Absolutely, yeah. Especially if he can get them out, get the 1 and 2 drops out.
Negates for those God.
God's willing.
Yeah, that card. The God card. Let's look at Steve's sideboard. Is this it? Yeah. Uh-oh. Panda! Whose deck is that?
That's mine.
Oh.
Hey, I got the Panda deck box and the Panda sleeves. So, trying to see what Steve is doing sideboard wise. Couldn't get a glance.
Steve has Disdainful Strokes, Negates, Stratus Dancers. Which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, Aqua's Form, Revoke Existence.
Aqua's Form might not be bad because they could make it get through all of the little...
Yeah, if you can get one of your... Like your hoplite out and get them up big and make them unblockable. It doesn't matter how many tokens Chris makes if you can outpace them.
I think a Revoke is definitely going to come in for the
Ascendancy.
Ascendancy. There you go.
Yeah. Don't know that Ordeal really helps them all that much, other than getting additional heroic triggers. But in that case, I think Aqueous Form is better to put on a creature, just to be able to get through. And it's a lower mana investment.
Yeah, so I think probably putting in Revoke and Aqueous Form.
Yeah.
Maybe Negate.
Possibly.
Oh, there's a Stubborn Denial hiding behind the Stratus Dancer.
Oh, there you go.
Steve was trying to keep that secret.
I'm switching back and forth between Monster Iced Tea and Pepsi.
Just take a...
It's not great. I don't recommend it.
Take a 5-hour energy and dump it into your monster and...
There you go. With a shot of vodka.
Yeah, and some espresso.
Shuffling up. Chris hasn't reset his dice yet.
They're definitely not used to keeping track of life totals with dice.
I don't think many experienced players are. There you go.
I would have trouble too. I never do it.
He tried to reset for Steve. Steve was already on it. I don't think Steve ever went below 20. I don't think he ever had to touch that die, so it's kind of easy.
He followed my directions and used the 3 and then the 1 through 9, 0 through 9 on the D20 for 30 something, 20 something.
So Chris will be on the play. And we'll see if we finally get around 3 this stream.
It would be the first one.
I haven't seen it yet. So both players are going to keep, starting off with a temple and leaving it. And there's the 1-drop favorite hoplite, which I think is your...
2 hangerback walkers in his hand. Steve likes playing hangerback walkers in this deck. Somebody just bumped onto the pole, too.
So, Chris just cast... Looks like it's a Planeswalker.
Jace.
Yeah. So... He's got a little ways to go to get him to flip as far as getting stuff in his graveyard. And Steve says, no, I'll just... Dromoka command.
They are vulnerable to creature removal.
So, and 2 counters on the favorite hoplite. And there's the attack. So that'll be 3 damage to Chris, taking him down to 16. So Steve's out of the gate fast here, already a 3/3 on the favorite hoplite.
Mm-hmm. And that Jace just gave him a target for the Dromoka's command?
Yeah, absolutely. And nothing from Chris on that turn. So we'll see if Steve can pump the hoplite even higher. Doesn't look like he is. So this will be for 3. Take Chris down to 13. And what's that just came in?
Raise the alarm end of turn.
Yeah, raise the alarm there. But and Steve cast
Hangerback Walker.
Hangerback Walker, yeah. The die went on it so fast I couldn't tell what it was. So Chris is out there with some blockers now. But I would imagine those blockers are about to go away if he chooses to block. Mana Confluence from Steve. I would imagine Steve swings here. Just the favorite hoplite.
Looks like another Dromoka's command in his hand. I definitely saw a second Hangerback Walker.
So, I'll let that go. And there's the second one.
For 1. Whirling Outburst.
Yep. So there's some more tokens. So right now, Chris is doing a good job of at least keeping up with blockers.
Counter on the
put the counter on the Hangerback Walker. So Steve's going to enchant the favored hoplite, it looks like, which will trigger the heroic.
Was that a... It didn't look like an ordeal. Was that a sideboard card of some sort?
Was it Aqueous form?
Oh, it's Aqueous form.
Yeah, so...
It's unblockable.
So, yeah. And it's currently, what, a 4/5? And unblockable, so...
And he's scryed off of the Aqueous form?
Yep. So we'll see.
Valor Stance, I believe.
Yeah, Valor Stance to put another counter on there.
No, Chrissy casts the Valor Stance, and then Steve.
Yeah, what did Steve respond
casts
with?
God's Willing.
Okay, God's Willing. So that's gonna knock. So that was a 5. So that'll knock Chris down to 8.
Not looking good for.
Yeah, so right now it's a 2-turn clock that Steve has Chris on, and with 19 life, he doesn't really care about anything that's on the board.
That must be the Ascendancy.
Yeah, it looks like the Jeskai Ascendancy just came out.
That's the Ascendancy spot.
Yeah.
Only 2 mana untapped.
Yeah, it looks like 2 mana up.
Plus the 3 goblins.
Right, so... could beef up his tokens here, but I don't think he's going to be able to do enough quickly enough to be able to deal with the unblockable hoplite.
Plus the hangerback walkers can just block and then turn into things that he can't block.
Yeah. So here's the draw. Let's see if Steve can pump the hoplite a couple times. There's another Aqueous form on a hangerback walker.
Huh.
So it's looking worse and worse for Chris here. So I would imagine we're going to see 2 things, 2 unblockable creatures coming.
Kind of looks like we're not having a game 3.
Don't know what Chris has in hand. So there's the swing. Steve might as well swing everything. Yeah, at this point, might as well swing everything.
You can almost hear him. Why not?
So blocks the only creature he can. Brings the token in from the hangerback walker. And looks like that's, then that looks like it's going to be game.
He can just Daroka's command and pump it.
So there you go. Steve takes it down in 2 games.
Again.
And no round 3s for the night. And I guess that's it for the stream.